How's it going? Rohan Dhawan here, and welcome to this brand new video in which I want to discuss how you can actually get high ticket clients for yourself internationally as well as in India, even if you have no following or at all, even if nobody knows who you are, even without getting thousands and thousands of leads and visitors to your website. So that's exactly what we will be discussing inside of this video. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to, walk you guys through my stories and how I actually learned about all these things from my personal experience, just so that you don't have to make the same mistake when trying to get started with this kind of journey, or even trying to grow the one that you already have, grow a business that you already have in case you're struggling with it. So let's get into the first myth. Okay, the first myth is that you need a lot of followers in order to get started and get high ticket clients for your business. This means that you actually have to be on Instagram. You have to be like Gary Vee, post a lot of selfies, do a lot of promotions, use a lot of hashtags, and all those different kind of things you will need to do in order to get high ticket clients. Another thing that people associate all this stuff with is that the more followers and likes that a business might have, the chances of it succeeding and getting high ticket clients is higher. Now, this is again a myth because, as you might realize, that I do not have a lot of followers on the internet yet. My business generates a lot more money than people who are having millions and millions of followers. Now, how did I learn about this? Let's talk about a personal story that actually happened to me, because of which I was able to learn this important lesson. So back in the days, I started this company. It was called as Bhai Bible. Now, in case you're not aware about it, you can just go to Facebook. I think the page still exists. It's just a page that posts about memes and stuff like that. And I had crazy ideas in my mind. I thought that I will sell T-shirts using this brand. I would sell mugs. I would sell like I would have like a whole website where people can just go and read blog articles, and I could just post a lot of different kind of ads over there. So I had like a lot of different kind of creative ideas regarding this kind of company. So the first thing that I decided to do, or the myth that I actually had in my mind, was that, Rohan, if you want to actually grow a company, the first thing and the most important thing on social media is that you need a lot of followers and you need a lot of likes, which is obviously a very, very crucial factor towards success in the eyes of a lot of people. So that's exactly what I decided to do. I decided to basically do a lot of different kind of promotions. I started, posting every single day. I used to use different kind of hashtags. I used to invite a lot of different kind of people to go and like the page and promote it in different kind of groups. And I did every single thing possible in order to grow that page. And what ended up happening is, I think within a duration of 3 months, we were able to generate more than 50,000 likes for the page. But that's not the amazing thing. The most amazing thing is that I was able to get 2 million people every single week on that page engaging with my post. 2 million people. If you don't believe me, I'm pretty sure you can see the images in front of your screen as well. What ended up happening is, even though I was getting so much traction, so many eyeballs to my page, so many different kind of likes, followers, and different kind of things happening for me, but what you must realize is that I wasn't making any money with it. I was trying to grow something, but I was unable to convert those likes or followers that I was getting into actual money. And why did that actually happen? Let's talk about that. So as soon as I had a lot of followers and a lot of likes, I decided that, okay, now it's time that I should start doing my promotions, and this is the time where the good things will happen, and I would start getting a lot of visitors, and maybe I would start making a lot of money. So what I did was, after I had this huge following, I started posting links to my website and links to my products that I was wishing to promote to these kind of people. And what ended up happening is that those posts were not getting as much traction as the posts that I used to make earlier, like memes and stuff like that. So what is the key lesson. The key lesson is that I actually had to Google this in order to find out about this. But what happens is Facebook and Instagram and all these different kind of platforms where I was trying to promote my page and my website on, they do not like when somebody just leaves their website. They want them hooked to their platform. They do not want people to leave the platform, right? And what ended up happening is whenever I would put a link to my website and tell people that, hey, by the way, I promote this product as well, or I do this as well, you go to the website. What ended up happening is, like, if I had 50,000 likes, less than 1% of the people were actually seeing it, and I think 0.01% actually clicked on the link. Now, I'm pretty sure there are some ways to get around this as well. But even if I would have managed to get a lot of visitors by selling mugs and T-shirts, probably it would have taken me a lot of time to really make some good money. And even if I would have, my net profits wouldn't have been sufficient. So this is exactly what happened, and that's when I realized that, Rohan, from next time if I launch a company, this is a great learning for you. Do not focus on likes, followers, or any of that stuff. That it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the success of any kind of business, and it's irrelevant to you getting high ticket clients. Now, that being said, let's talk about the second myth that people have. Now, the second myth that people have is that you need a lot of visitors to actually get high ticket clients. And this is what I thought. So, after launching that Bhai Bible company, I thought, okay, Rohan, so the mistake was that likes and followers don't matter. However, what you need instead is you need a lot of visitors in order to make decent amount of money. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to launch another company that was called as Buzzopedia.com. I think it was called as Buzzopedia.com and not .in. Regardless, that's the venture that I created. You can go to Facebook and actually find that page as well. I think it's still live. Now, what exactly was that page? Now, that page was basically a website that was launched during the time when websites like Scoop Whoop, StoryPick, and I don't know if you've heard about those websites, but that's the time when all these different kind of websites started trending on. These websites used to provide articles that were based around in listicle format. It was kind of like BuzzFeed but for India. So that being said, I decided to launch this platform, and I started writing a lot of different blog articles, hoping that now if I promote these blog articles, I would start getting a lot of visitors to my website, and hopefully that would help me create a successful business. Now, my business model was pretty simple. I would, I would just simply have articles. People would go to my website. They would actually check out the ads that I was hosting on my website. These were actually provided by Google. They are called as AdSense, I think. And basically, you can just ask Google and partner up with Google, and whatever ads that they have, you can actually, put on your website. And for every click or conversion, you actually get some percentage of it. So that's the kind of business model that I was following. And I thought that now what I need is, if I get thousands of visitors to my website, forget about likes, forget about followers. If I get thousands of visitors to my website, then I would become successful, because people will click on these ads, and then I would make a lot of a lot of money with it. So that's what I decided to do. And what ended up happening is, we wrote this article. I think it was called as Top 10 Party Colleges in India. I think that's what the article was called. And I still remember I was in college. My lecture was going on, and my phone was ringing all the time. And I was like, what's really happening? And then I didn't pick up for obvious reasons, because I was in the class. But I started getting this email from my hosting company. And my hosting company was saying that, Rohan, actually, your website is about to crash. If you do not upgrade your plan, then we will have, it will just crash and there'll be chaos. And I was like, why? I had a decent plan already. Why do I need to upgrade? And then I just checked my stats, and I realized that within a span of, I think, 24 hours, we had over 50,000 visitors on the website. 50,000 people we got within 24 hours on the website. And I was able to scale that to the next level. I basically used that formula and basically picked my own niche, which was college students, and started writing different kind of blog articles around it, and decided to promote it everywhere on the internet. And what happened was I was getting, like, I think over 150,000, 200, 300,000 visitors every single month. I'm pretty sure you can see these stats on your screen. Now, when that started happening, I was like, okay, I think I have cracked the method to actually make a lot of money on the internet. However, the funny thing is that when I actually checked my um, Google AdSense account, I just logged in and I was like, okay, end of the month, I think I've made a lot of money. I think there's a lot of progress. And what ended up happening is I had made just about 20,000 rupees. That's like a few $100s. And for doing so much effort, so for getting so much traffic to my website, um, I just made like just a few thousand rupees, and that was just like a waste of my efforts. And then I thought, okay, the problem is probably Google. It's because of the business model. It's because I'm running ads on the website. I think what I need to do is, if I could have my own product and put it on my website, then my chances of succeeding would increase by a significant amount. So, what ended up happening is I decided to replace the ads with something else, which is like my own products. So, what I decided to do was I partnered up with a company called as My Dream Store. I think anybody could sign up and create T-shirts and different kind of hoodies and different kind of things on that website. So it was kind of like print on demand concept. I'm pretty sure that you all must have heard about it. If not, you can just Google it. It's like there are websites out there which have T-shirts, right? And you can just print out anything on the T-shirt, and you can sell those T-shirts or hoodies or whatever. And for that, they would give you like a percentage of all the sales, and they would take away the cost plus their own profits, and whatever left, after reducing the cost of ads or promotions, will be obviously your money. So I decided to do that. So I thought that now that I'm getting so much traffic to my website, why not start selling T-shirts and hoodies rather than posting all those ads and all that stuff, and paying the helping other businesses uh, get promoted using my own website. Now that's something that obviously wasn't working, so I decided to replace it with T-shirts and hoodies. And what ended up happening is, again, I did make money. I'm not gonna lie. However, when I reduced, all the different kind of costs that were involved, which was cost of promoting, cost of marketing, obviously ads and everything. And then I had to reduce the cost of my hosting server, the domain, the different kind of softwares that I was using, and then I had to reduce the cost that I had to pay to the vendor for the T-shirt or the hoodie, because obviously they had their cut, the T-shirt had its fixed costs and whatever. At the end, what I was left with was literally not much, and it wasn't again worth the efforts, right? You do so much work, and then whatever you take back home is not significant enough. It's just no point in doing that. And I see a lot of people, especially in the drop shipping community and print on demand community, they post around their screenshots of the results that they got. And I'm not gonna lie, I did the same thing. I thought, this is going great. This is the way forward. However, when I looked at the net, right, it wasn't something to be really proud of. Okay, so I realized that it was a volume game, and I just wasn't inclined and motivated towards doing the same thing. Then finally, what ended up happening is, without extending this video, I decided to make a final shift, and I thought, okay, maybe if I could share my own information, right? If I could just help people out and sell that at on a live webinar or something like that, and get thousands and thousands of people to register on my webinar, then I would become successful. So I did a test launch in India, and I decided to do a live webinar. And I think we did a product for, it was for 5,000 rupees, that we decided to promote. And what ended up happening is I did the webinar, and people attended. Firstly, I had to get a lot of different, a huge number of registrants, right? And once we reduced all the costs and everything else, we realized that the same issue, the net profit margin wasn't as decent as expected. It was round about just 2:1, and it's just not worth the efforts. So what's the formula then? What should you actually do? That's what I decided to think. I decided to wonder, you know Rohan, what can I actually do in order to succeed, and in order to actually win the race? So after going through all these different kinds of experiences, or kind of like mini failures, I won't call them failures, actually they were learning lessons. That's how I like to take everything in my life. And what I started noticing is like a common pattern. I started noticing that the reason why I was unable to take one business and scale it to the next level is because at the end, the profit margin that I was being left with was not significant enough to keep myself incentivized in the game. Very simple. So I decided to ask myself, what can I actually do in the marketplace that actually fulfills me, but at the same time also makes me, decent enough money so that I'm able to keep reinvesting in my business, keep actually growing forward, keep actually moving forward. So that's exactly what I decided to think about. So what I basically thought was, what is that one thing that bothers somebody so much for which they are willing to actually get somebody to solve their problem, and they do not mind investing a significant portion to actually get rid of that particular problem? That was like a big aha moment. Okay, so I started basically seeing the different kind of areas in somebody's life that actually they have some sort of problem or some sort of issue that's going on. And the three core areas that I discovered, thanks to the founder of ClickFunnels, his name is Russell Brunson. Love his readings and love his software, because I use it. So definitely go check that out. However, the three core markets that I was able to discover with the help of that individual were: number one, wealth; the second one was relationships; and the third one was health. Now, these were three core areas where I started noticing that people actually have major problems for which they are willing to actually solve by paying a significant amount to actually solve those problems, right? So I started noticing that when it comes to money, people want more career growth, they want more clients for their business, they want to actually make more revenue or profit, right? That's their goal. So when it comes to, let's say, relationships, people want better relationships, and they want to be more engaged with their family members, they want to actually be there for them, they want to have something meaningful relationship with them. Everybody has desires for that as well. And then I also started noticing, when it comes to health, everybody wants a better physique, everybody wants to look better than how they look at this point of time. They want to appear better in the eyes of other people. They want better health for themselves as well, so that they could live longer and actually work longer, etc., etc. So these were basically areas of life that other people had, where they were not necessarily always satisfied, and they always wanted more, because that's how human beings are. We are never satisfied with our current situation, and we are always looking for growth and future possibilities. If you don't believe me, think about yourself. I'm pretty sure there must be one or two areas in your life where you must not be like super satisfied, and you're looking for progress and improvement in that particular area. And if you closely look at it, it would really fall into one of these three categories. It would be either relationships, health, or wealth. Really amazing point that was noted out. So once I decided to do that, I decided that, okay, what is that one core area that I could potentially be good at? And I started noticing that over the years of doing all these experiments and everything, I had become really good at one thing, which was marketing. Now, when I became good at marketing, this means that, just because I didn't have a great product at that point of time, and I could make a business model work. However, I did acquire one skill, which was to drive enormous amount of traffic or visitors or eyeballs to basically any kind of business out there. Now, this is a skill that a lot of businesses actually lack. Okay, this is something that they would pay a lot of money to solve this problem, and that's what I realized. I learned that people are not satisfied with the situation, that they are not getting customers, and the reason why they are not getting customers is because they are not getting enough eyeballs to their product or service. This means that they were really good at what they did. They had a fantastic business model as well, something that I didn't have before. But what they lacked was the equation of more traffic, more eyeballs. And that's what I learned. I was like, okay, so what I need to do is I just need to help these business owners get more eyeballs, get more customers, and make sure that, that they do the job after that. I've done my job. I give you the traffic and the eyeballs, and you already have a proven business model that sells. So you do your job, and I'll do my job. And for this, what I decided, I'm going to charge a premium amount for the same thing. Okay. So I decided that rather than doing this for low ticket prices, let's say, cheap amount or something that wasn't worth it, I would charge them more money to solve this problem, because the pain to solve this problem was high enough for me to actually demand more. Now, most people can't really do that. Let's say, you write a book about how to do karate, right? It's not necessarily that you can just go instantly out there and just turn that into a high ticket offer. Sure, if you solve a big enough problem, for example, let's say by learning self defense, you can actually protect yourself and your family from the future harm that could be caused. It's all about positioning. Think about what I just did there, right? So if you can actually solve a great problem and just be open towards looking in these three markets, which is what I discussed right now: wealth, relationships, and health. If you're just constantly looking, okay, in these three markets, you would discover that there is some sort of pain out there that people have that you can actually solve with whatever you're passionate about or whatever you have past experience in, that you manage to do it yourself. So here's some homework for you, okay? Just sit down right now and make three circles, right? Wealth, relationships, and health. And try to find out what you're passionate about and what different kind of problems are people facing inside of this area. And then try to connect the dots, that could there be something that I could solve? Could there be something that I could be known for? Let's say that people are suffering from obesity, and obesity leads to diseases like diabetes and different kind of health issues that are out there. Okay, and especially during this lockdown period time, when people were not really going out that much, they were sitting at home and there was readily food available to consume. And obviously we have television, so gyms and everything was stopped, so people would spend time watching television, gain fat and everything else, right? And that's not necessarily good for somebody, and that could lead to future health issues. So the pain of solving this problem is big enough for somebody to actually pay you a lot of money for it, right? So what I want you to do is write down three areas, whatever it could be: wealth, relationship, and health, and write down the different kind of problems that people face in that particular area, and what could you be good at solving in one of those areas. And most importantly, what are you passionate about solving? Okay, you don't want to do something that you are not really motivated towards doing, right? So that being said, what's the next step did I do, and what's the next step that you should do after you have selected your market? The next step that I did was I decided that I now need to select who do I need to approach, right? Because obviously I need to solve this problem of getting traffic and eyeballs that I had discovered for business owners. But there are so many different kind of business owners out there. Who should I reach out to? Who should I begin my marketing with? Who should I first contact, right? There's just so many options out there. So what I decided to do, I decided to pick my niche. Okay, there were two reasons why I picked my niche. The first one was because that would help me gain clarity regarding who exactly I want to target. Because if I won't have like a target to throw my dart at, then who would I just like go after, right? So I decided that okay, I need to select niche so that I know who my target market is. And the second reason why I decided to pick a niche is so that I can actually stand out from rest of the crowd that's out there. Because most people that I saw were that we will help you get traffic, we will help you get leads, and we will help everybody. So I decided that I'm not going to help everybody. I'm just going to pick my unique area, okay, the cream people that I want to work with, because that's the kind of people that will pay me a lot of money. And I decided that I will help, let's say, coaches and consultants who are living in this particular region. Okay, that's what I decided to do. And the next thing, after I had selected my niche, before I actually get into that, that's your task number two. Okay, so after you have selected whatever kind of target market that you want to go for, whether it's a relationship, whether it's wealth, whether it's health, the next step that I want you to do is pin down regarding who inside of that market you actually want to reach out to. So for example, if it's health that you selected, do you want to reach out to mothers who are let's say not happy with obesity, and they are looking to actually become fit, become healthy, so that they could actually live a longer life, spend more time with their family. And now let's say that you select wealth and you decide to solve the problem that was similar to mine, which was getting other people traffic and leads. Now that would fall into wealth. Subcategory would be digital marketing. Now, inside of digital marketing, the first question you would be like, if you're starting out, who should I target? Who should I go after? So you have to be clear regarding that. So for your niche, maybe it could be dentists, maybe it could be, chiropractors nearby, or maybe it could be plastic surgeon or hair transplant people nearby, right? Those doctors need help. Maybe it could be, let's say, landscapers. It could be, you know, literally any kind of business like e-commerce store. That could be, if you want to be more specific, you could be like e-commerce stores that sell active gym wear. Okay, so that's how you become specific, and that's how you pick your niche. And that's the step number two that I decided to follow. That after selecting my market, I decided that this is the niche that I want to go after. Cool. So now I realized that I decided to pick a problem that was big enough where people were willing to pay me a lot of money to solve that particular problem. And the second thing was I decided to find those exact people, which was AKA my niche, who I wanted to just go after specifically, so that I can, number one, easily target them. I know where they are. See, when you define your target, you exactly know where they are and you know where to look for. But when your target is too broad, you're like, where should I go? I don't know, I'm confused, right? So that's the reason why I did that. And the second reason was so that I can actually differentiate myself from rest of the crowd out there that was trying to do the same thing, but for everybody. They were generalist. Okay, so that's what I did. And after that, the third step was pretty simple. I decided to basically contact these people one by one. In fact, at one point, I think I did use a software as well to do this on automation. But initially, I decided to contact them one by one. They got in touch with me. I decided to get them on a call, and that's another story where I decided to learn sales and everything. I'll share all that stuff with you in the next call, or next video, sorry, not the call. But what ended up happening is I got those people interested in the offer, and I basically told them, look, this is what I had done before for myself, and I'm willing to actually do it for you as well. um, do you want to go forward with it? And surprisingly, because at that point of time I literally had no experience and I had no idea what I was doing, but surprisingly, I had business owners who did agree to actually move forward. The first individual that I decided to work with, or who actually paid me money, his name was Vijay. I still remember. The first invoice that he sent me, the payment that he sent me, was for $750 for 15 days worth of work. And I think within the next 15 days, he paid another $750. So it was like a $1,500 per month retainership contract that he had assorted to me, where I would generate a lot of traffic for him to his website, to his store. I think that's what he was running at that point of time, and get him a lot of different sales. And for that, I would get a high ticket price, and I'll be happy with that. So that's what I decided to do. And what I realized is that when I got that paycheck, I learned that the money I made from this paycheck, from this particular client, was higher than everything combined that I had actually made in my previous two ventures that I had started. So this was like a big eureka moment, and I was like, okay, this is the area that I need to focus on. This is what will help me actually take things to the next level, and this will help me grow. And it's very simple. I was able to grow this business, and literally I was able to do this without any kind of following. I was able to get more retainership clients. uh, my website this time was getting less than 100 views. Trust me, less than 100 views, yet people were able to book a call with me. I was able to get them on a call, and I was able to work with them and solve the exact problems that they were looking to solve. And once I was able to learn the skill, things just radically changed. That evolved to me launching Uability and teaching other people how to do the exact same thing. And just to give you a proof that this does not just necessarily apply to me, here's the story of Pulkit. Pulkit literally is my client, and Pulkit Raval is roundabout making over 8 lakhs per month. I think that's $11,000 approximately per month. And what is happening is he has absolutely no following on the internet. Uh, I doubt he even uses Instagram. And he does not, I don't even think he has a fully functioning website. Even though like I showed him exactly how to make one, he's like, I never really needed one. So I think it's there, but he doesn't use it as much as needed. And he just focuses on the main thing, which is finding people who actually have a solid problem, and then simply just solving them by getting them on a consultation call, discovering about the same thing, and asking if they just want to work together and solve that particular problem or not. As simple as that. So here's some live proof that this does not just apply to my business. This can be done by anyone. You do not need a huge following. Nobody needs to, like, not a lot of people need to know who you are. You do not need a lot of visitors. You do not need to do so many different kind of webinars every single week, and host the webinars, get a lot of people to show up on the webinar, and then end up selling low ticket items and all that stuff, and then upsell them and all that stuff. So again, no point doing all that stuff when things can be a lot easier. You just solve problems that are big enough to actually pay you more, and you just work with quality and grow your business like that. So that's my recommendation to you. Now, if you're interested to learn more about how exactly I did this, more about my story, maybe you want to learn how do you transition yourself, if you're selling low ticket items, how do you transition that to high ticket and actually get started immediately. Or even if you are just starting out, maybe you're watching this video, you have absolutely no experience, you're just getting started with business, and you are like, how do I actually do it right from day number one? How do I actually go with high ticket prices? How do I work with quality clients? Well, if you're interested to know more about both the things, then there's an option to actually go check out my training right below this video. It's a free training. It's I think a 60-minute training where I walk you through exactly step by step how do I actually get consistent high ticket projects for myself consistently every single month. Okay, this is for coaches, consultants, and service providers. If you're one of them, or if you're planning to be one of them, then this training is going to help you a lot. Now, if you've already seen the training, there's a link below to actually go and book a call with my team as well. You can go talk to us and discuss exactly how we can help you transition into this high ticket model, even if nobody knows who you are, right? So that's all for today. If you like this video, feel free to actually give a thumbs up, or maybe just leave your thoughts in the comments below. I read each one of them. I would love to actually know what you think about this video, and if you want me to continue making more of these, if this actually provided you with value, right? So click on the thumbs up button, click on the like button if you think you liked it, comment below, and then subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this content directly on your YouTube newsfeed. So thanks a lot. Rohan Dhawan here, founder of Uability, and I hope you have a fantastic day or night, depending upon whenever you're watching it.